Yo guys, a really quick non-boring patch review. So in the current patch there are some interesting things as we got as ability preview in Champ Select. This matters more for beginners but also helps for expert players. If a new champion comes out and they did not check their ability out, so you move your mouse on a champion and it shows their abilities so you can learn what you're gonna face. This definitely helps a lot because no one gonna actually like search up a champion's name, check their abilities on Wikipedia and whatnot. Okay. Character models can sometimes disappear, we fixed the bug, so I had this bug before, that's great. Baron is also getting a health regen nerf apparently from 75 to 0, but its HP is higher by 100, so this is seen to be a Baron nerf. It's easier to take it down basically, but the out of combat regen is unchanged. Okay, this actually kind of helps with like smiting and just making like a more consistent fight. So 7 armor nerf on Alistar because he been quite durable, but that was one of the points of Alistar because what does right justify this nerf with? Alistar has been one of the strongest support tanks, but he's kind of a response. He's not that strong of a champion. He's just really a response to like engagers, honestly. Like he's not really that good of a champion, and having fatter, like higher base stats is a great thing on the champion because one of the things that sucks is getting perhaps outpoked or if you're disallowed from engaging. That's where the armor helps, or it just generally seems to be a nice thing to be more tanky as Alistar. Sucks, I think the champion is kind of shit now. At 7 armor, I mean, you rarely see that much being removed. So attack speed per stack is higher in the later level by 0.1. This gives her a bit more DPS as the games goes by, and so the damage to champions is also reduced to 0. What the hell? So your level 1 fights in waves will be a bit worse around reps if you choose to cheese. Eventually it will be 10 less even in the later levels. The total damage to monsters is definitely unchanged, but this seems to be a scaling buff and a early game nerf, which has not seemed to be a good thing for her. Definitely sucks more than it as if it would help. So I think they just kind of fuck the champion over. Braum, again another. Who the fuck how squishy Braum is now? I get it. His W provides him. I think his armor definitely needed to be nerfed, but not this side. So his E already gives him a shield, damage, percentage damage reduction. His W gives armor and more, right? Now, in total, in 3 patches, they removed 15 armor from Braum. Now, I think it's been a potent, like, pro pick as a response. But I think in solo queue, it's kind of shit now. Maybe they're still gonna pick it in pro play, possibly, but he just gets poked out so hard right now, it's unreal. 15 less armor, that's a cloth armor amount of stats. In total. I think he will just suck, honestly. I think he will just suck. But he still has like base abilities to defend himself. It just is forced to recall more often in the early levels. Then as time passes, I would say he's still a potent counter, but his early game seems a bit cooked. The Phosphorus Bomb gets a 20 damage nerf later on. Early on it's the same-ish. And a scaling 10% buff, so after a certain amount of AD you do get actually more damage value. So his early is not that strong, but his late game is even better. Now the R Missile Barrage is getting a 5% buff and you get multiple of these. That's why a little bit the damage of your Q is getting reduced, the flat value. Corki will be a bit of a better scaler, but early on you're gonna a little bit feel this little bit of a damage nerf, so maybe there will be an argument to more likely max E now. In fact, even before these nerfs, some people did max E in some matchups. Alawi is completely useless right now, so it's funny because they call it adjustments. Bro, you are ruining the champion again, Riot Games, and this is not the first adjustment we get because Garen adjustment was kind of funny, like there are just so many like adjustments that we get these days. And so, as you can see, the percentage value is up by 5%, which is almost nothing. I mean, I get it, it's spammy and shit, but the problem is in comparison to like how much does your E last 3 seconds, and the tentacle attack timer is also 4 to 3.5 to 3 seconds. The vessel spawn tentacles now attack the vessel about 1 second sooner, which is seen to be a good thing, but I don't know, brothers. I don't know about this one, guys. It definitely has a bit of a faster burst, but maybe for a flash play, but Mostly it seems to be ruined actually. Her pressure is just so non-existent after reducing her shit to from 10 to 3, because when you have cooldown you can spam this multiple times on and off, but now you can't pressure the same way people of CS. Irelia gets a reasonable nerf because Kraken and Borg got buffed. She uses both of these, so she gets a health regen nerf, so early game is harder, but after like Vamp Scepter, after Borg, it will be the same-ish. It just, right games want to more likely allow people to perhaps poke her out. Maybe it's a more of a mid-oriented thing. I mean, even on top it will matter, but on top they tend to all in on mid, they just poke. Skewed towards, oh yeah, they even say it's skewed towards mid lane. Again, supposed to be adjustment that Glad received last patch. Now he does get a increase again, so dismounted resistance is 1 to 2 percentage bonus HP based on the number of nearby enemy champions. Now it's actually 4 plus 1% bonus HP up to 10 to do 2 plus 5 bonus HP based on the number of, so you get more stats basically, so you're more likely to remount. But the problem is most of the times people get some type of execute champs into like Glad, so this doesn't really help super a lot into Darius and Garen and shit, but it does help to an extent. So I wouldn't say it's useless, it just like depends like how likely they're gonna kill you at that much a low amount of HP. So yeah, can be useful. Alpha Strikes Mastery does get a nerf. Damage, let's say like the damage is a bit lower by 50, but the AD ratio is higher, I suppose. So total AD, so it's higher by 20% as we can see. I think I think it's the specific monster damage, right? It's the specific monster damage apparently, So the AD ratio is higher, but this is generally a nerf. As with Belvet, Mastery was one of the bigger winners with Blade, the Ruin King and Crack. Yep, that's what I thought, like these champs gonna be OP. So they go for a heavy nerf on these. Well, kind of softer, but I think his Q kinda sucks actually, like 50 less damage is kinda fucking insane actually. I mean, Critty is much worse. That's a lot of fucking damage nerf. But I suppose so once you get Borg Kraken, this will not matter super a lot, but then early game is a bit cooked. Now the strongest bot laner, someone has to be on the top. She had a little more than no one even picks this champion. I'm a bit like, how come like they every time say Nilah is that strong? The champion ain't even that strong. I mean, no one even picks the champion, and now he gets like a base AD buff by 2, but the attack speed is lower. So I guess like her scaling basics are worthwhile. I don't know. I don't know what is this honestly. It's just so weird. Now Pantheon I'm very fucking strong in the jungle, that's true, so he's getting nerfed out completely. So it's clear he's dog shit now. So even if you pick Pantheon, you're gonna arrive way too late at Scuttle, you're gonna clear way too slowly, so it's highly unrecommended now that it goes under 100%, so it's even more of a nerf. We'll be mainly seeing Pantheon as a stop, maybe support-ish something, but yeah, it's a problematic change because, I don't know, I think it was fun to play, but it was also like very shit to face Pantheon in the jungle, so yeah, I would just rather remove him from the jungle role. It's too fitting. I swear, like, it's too fitting for Pantheon, to the point where it's just so, like, annoying. It's just so hard to counter it. But okay. Blinding Assault. So it does get a flat damage value buff, as we can see, so because it's mainly like a sort of snowball champ, right? Most effective damage static and symbiotic soul. So the idea is they buff early, but it turns into bonus AD instead of total AD, so early game better, she maybe gets more likely early game kills. Then the late game damage is a bit forced, but the idea is to get ahead and snowball the game. Rek'Sai also gets a nice adjustment, so base armor is lower by 1, armor growth is lower again, because durability has to be nerfed because they're buffing clock up, lock out, so even if you max it later on, it's gonna be the same cooldown. But the Furious Bites are interesting because the true damage is back and it has only a 6-second cooldown, so maybe we will see more Rek'Sai top actually. Maybe. So, power damage is 100% total AD, but and plus percentage targets max HP. Now in here it's 80% bonus AD. It's not total AD, it's bonus AD right now, but it has a higher like flat value, which is seen to be a good thing because it will deal more damage to squishes. On empower damage is says like 80, 165, 180. So it's more spammy, like maybe you get another one off when you're ganking actually if you're auring. So maybe the idea is to get like 1 E off, then R, then get one E off again. So I guess this will just allow him to connect two E's more smoothly. And I think this will just help like in combination with R. Without R, it's questionable if you can hit two E's in one gang, but with R, you likely do. But the interesting thing is that, R void rush, right? So 150, so the flat values are the same. The percentage value is lower by 10%. The cooldown is also a bit higher, but the cooldown on interrupted cast target dying is 10 to 5 seconds. Now we says W cooldown on cast, which is like really good because I think it does refer to the on target cooldown if I'm correct. And so now you'll be able to look up people twice, which is like a 2-second cooldown. I think it refers to the knock up lockout, probably, right? Hopefully. I'm not sure if it refers to that or to the original cooldown, but I think to the knock up lockout. What a name. So I think maybe we will see some Excite up as well. I think these are good changes. If anything, like champion is maybe less useless, honestly, now. Well, Realm is still very annoying even after so many nerfs, so they lower her resistances a bit, which is reasonable because that shield is so high, I swear, it's just so goddamn high. Air balance changes, dead screen effects, we've seen a lot of feedbacks. Remove movement speed, this is just an ARAM changes, not very notable, not very interesting. Alright guys, that's it for now guys, have a nice day.